So, I got some good toast. We're back. Sorry it took me so long to do this. I've been sick and busy and stuff. So, back with the second round of the best card in the game. Obviously, only looking at banned cards. Just because the list is so freaking long, I decided I'm only going to do half of the round of 64 in one round and one video. And part 3 will be the second part of round of 64. Anyway, without wasting any more time, let's go into the matchups. See the matchups right here. I'm just going to be doing the ones on the left, and then we'll see where that goes, and then I'll do the ones on the right, and so on and so forth. Okay. First one, number 16, Shockmaster versus Yatagarasu. If you never played during Yatagarasu's era, then you don't know why that card was so annoying, but when comparing these two cards, one completely shuts, I know windups is like one of the few strategies that just immediately puts 3 on the field, or 10-plate Goldfish chain summoning gadgets, but Shockmaster is a lot better card than Yatagarasu because skipping your draw phase isn't nearly as detrimental as it used to be. I mean, now people are playing Reckless Greed, and even if you don't, if you do not open multiple copies of Reckless Greed and you decide to play one, you're actually going for technically a -1, skipping a draw phase. You're using one, so a normal summon that wastes. It wastes your normal summon, and it has to inflict battle damage, and it can't be impeded by Infect Veil or Deep Prison or Mirror Force or anything like that. Only to skip one draw phase. That's still really good, don't get me wrong, but something like Shockmaster is infinitely better. So Shockmaster is a clear winner. Look at the next one, Change of Heart. A lot of cards like Brain Control and Change of Heart, the cards that simply just take control of one monster, while those are obviously incredibly powerful, it just pales in comparison to something like a game changer like Cyberjar. Cyberjar destroys the entire field. Cyberjar is just a lot better than Change of Heart. No other way to look at it. Gateway of the Six versus Crush Card Virus. Again, I'm not saying Gateway of the Six isn't broken, because a lot of these cards are absolutely busted. They deserve never to come back. But, Crush Card Virus completely decimates entire decks, versus Gateway of the Six is just an outlet for an OTK. When honestly, without it, they can... Samurais can still OTK. Next is Dark Strike Fighter versus Metamorphosis. This was kind of a hard decision for me, because they're both really good, but Dark Strike Fighter being an extra deck monster, I think makes it pretty good. During the whole Synchro Cat, Dark Strike Fighter OTKs, or, Blackwing 3 Gale OTKs, Dark Strike Fighter was just amazing, but on something like Mermails, you could easily include Fishborg Archer, the level 3 one. Like, Archer in graveyard and a Gundy in hand turns into a Dark Strike Fighter with a Pike in graveyard. And then, something like a simple Squall turns into just like a bajillion damage. So, that seems pretty good to me. Can just end the game right there versus technically a -1. Again, I'm not saying Metamorphosis is bad. Argeki Bake versus Mirage of Nightmare on spot removal. This is going to be infinitely worse than like every other card on this list. So Argeki Break just automatically loses something like Mirage of Nightmare, which is effectively like a Change of Heart every turn. Solemn Judgment versus Ultimate Offering. Again, I think Solemn Judgment loses to Ultimate Offering because, I'm not saying Solemn Judgment is bad, and it can win you the game if you open it or get a late game, but it does have a high cost, and Ultimate Offering is kind of like an OTK button, so if you can't stop an Ultimate Offering, it kind of means you lose. Imperial Order, oh gosh, Imperial Order is such a good card that even protects itself from stuff like MST that just shuts off a third of the deck. Was really good, but Disc Commander is the most broken draw engine of all time. I know that drawing cards is only so good because, like, all you do is draw them, and if you can't do anything with the cards you draw, then they're not really impressive, but considering it's so abusable makes it amazing. Last Will versus Witch of the Black Forest. One special summons from the deck, and the other just adds to the hand. The importance of Witch would go down significantly. It is a weak monster in and of itself, and while it can search a lot of good things, and we know that searching is the best thing in the game, special summoning from the deck allows for really silly things to happen. So, which loses? Cyberstein versus Fiberjar. Fiberjar is similar to Cyberjar. This is so weird. And how it's a giant reset button. One literally is a reset button for your graveyard, the other's more just for the field. But Cyberstein is, sure, it summons any fusion from your monster, but 5,000 life points is a lot. You better be winning that turn. If you don't win that turn, then Sucks to be you. And Cyberstein is very hard to search out. So late game, that's just such an awkward card. And then Super Juve versus Machiora. Machiora breaks a game mechanic, being able to activate trap cards on your hand. My nose is so stuffed up, I can't breathe through it. So I have to like take breaks from talking to actually like inhale because I can't do it through my nose. So Super Rejuvenation, I mean, it is like sure the Dragon War format show that costs nothing when you're actually sometimes playing cards, but Machiora just breaks that. And then we have Spellbook of Judgment versus Giant Trinade. Spellbook of Judgment is arguably the best card ever printed, so that just beats Giant Trinade automatically. Monster Reborn versus Sinister Serpent. Monster Reborn, because it's kind of a win. I mean, Sinister Serpent, all it does is make your costs less costly. It doesn't actually really gain you any advantage. I mean, it's still really good, but Monster Reborn is better. Exchange of the Spirit versus Trap Dust Shoot. One is basically an instant win, which beats kind of a. I mean, I'm not saying Trap Dust Shoot's bad, but it's like a conditional card, so Royal Oppression versus Snatch Steel. While Snatch Steel is probably the best steel card between Change of Heart and Brain Control and all that stuff, though it can be MST'd, the fact that you can play 4 of them with Arms Hole, or Hidden Armory, that's why it'd probably be the best. But Royal Oppression is better. Awkward. And then we have Brionic Dragon of the Ice Bear versus Fishborg Blaster. This is a tough choice, but in the end, Brionic is just amazing. There's a reason why it's banned. There's a very good reason why it's banned. And Time Seal versus Return. 1 is you have to set it up, and it can be a +1. But Time Seal all it does is cut off your opponent's next draw phase versus Return, where it's just like an instant. I mean, summoning 5 monsters is really good, especially if you can control which ones get summoned. So that's all we have for the first half of 64. Look here, I'll show you what the winners are on the left, and then on the right, I'll do that the next part of the video sometime soon. Thanks for watching.